World of YouTube, true crime is always on the rise. And today, Terrible Sight here going to go over a story that happened in 1984, as you can see. And to me, I am mind blown away of this case. I am mind blown away of what I've heard. I've even recorded audio or video of the audio or interviews of some of the police officers. And man, I could tell you, boy, whoa. It is very disturbing as of what I heard in this case. I mean, now mind you, this is 1984. And for this case, and mind you, it's on Amazon Prime if anybody wants to watch it. But beware of this, because it is horrifically. I mean, if you cannot stand the images in this, I advise you not to watch this. The images are of dead people. And I cannot believe that they had literally put this on TV. But I guess with all these shootings that have been occurring, this is definitely something that, you might want to watch. Because not only is it about a mass shooting, a lunatic rampaging, but obviously it seems that, to me, my thoughts, my theories, my ideas, is that if we cannot control these shootings and, come up with new ways and ideas, and just like the last shooting that happened at the school, 15 kids dead, teachers dead, another Sandy Hook massacre. And in ways they are blaming the law for not, intervening quick enough. Now, the difference between the modern day cases of Sandy Hook and that last Texas shooting, I believe it was in Texas, I forget, is that, how can I say this, is that they knew there was only one killer. In this one, though, they did not know of how many killers were in there, but, the way things gotta go these days, and the way they hesitated, it's just getting bad. You got movies like The Terminator, or let alone the movie with Tom Selleck and Gene Simmons. I forget I just watched that like 4 weeks ago too, where Gene Simmons, out of all people, is a murderer trying to sell his little robots. One flies, one comes at you, attacks you, putting a poisonous venom in you. But yet there's other robots in that movie, and one of them is the robot that had what's her name? I forget her name. One of her famous movies was Look Who's Talking. The mother there, I forget her name. She played with Tim Allen in the Amish movie. Christy Alley was in that movie with Gene Simmons and Tom Selleck. And there she was getting zapped by this friggin' robot. And I mean, yes, it was damaged throughout they did get it, they did shoot it or whatever they did to it. But, these are the things I think that need to be looked at and more thought of. And then you got 1987 hit of RoboCop. Now, why in God's earth name have they not come out with stuff like that? I mean, yes, we do have robots. Yes, we do have, but I mean, let alone not go in the way of the Terminator. But still, you got these machines that could be stepping in for real officers, and taking care of any type of, violent, deranged, lunatic, psychopath, maniac, stupid idiot that blows up people, kills them. And if that ain't the thing that needs to be looked at, then there's another thing that needs to be thought of, and it's called pure distraction. Because, yes, I mean, there are flaws in robots. Don't get me wrong. But if you got something like RoboCop, shit, I mean, things would be a lot better. I mean, if they could keep it out of the wrong hands, of course. And that right there, is the big issue of why they probably haven't produced them yet. Because if they get on the black market, this whole world's going to be up shit's creek. Let alone. But there are other things out there. And if they're making kinds of bulletproof steel, mind you, in the Rob Zombie movie, The Devil Rejects, in the beginning, where the police raided the house, and you see one of the, I forgot, I don't even know that guy's name. He stuck a character in there, right? But he had a shield on him, steel shield, shooting a shotgun around him. I mean, if there's ways to make stuff like that, body armor, let alone, say, so a RoboCop, like knights and King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table. If they can make, heavy, well, not heavy, but heavy-duty, bulletproof steel that can withdraw, hold anything. But then again, you got them bullets out there that can rip right through steel and blah, blah, blah. But still, you have to keep trying to make something to intervene with these stupid retards. And I'm not saying retards as mentally handicapped. I have made a new definition of retards. People that know wrong from right, but do wrong anyway. That's what I refer a retard as. They know wrong and right, but I'm going to do wrong anyway. I've already said that in a bunch of videos 4 or 5 years ago. But I'm not talking about mentally challenged people. They got more brains than the people that go out and shoot everybody. That's for damn sure. At least they try. At least they, don't take my stuff out of content because I make up new definitions for words is right. But it is sick and sad of this story and this buffoon that went in there and caused this horror. And this is the picture of the man. And of course, a picture says 1,000 words to me. And as you can see, yes. Now, one thing I'd like to know, and if it is ever came out, not ever, is this man's background, childhood. They had friggin' Ted Bundy up there. They had Jeffrey Dahmer up there. What is this guy's background? I mean, I still need to do a little more research. I didn't finish the whole documentary on this, but I started getting angry at the end because, yes, I give a take. It was 1984, and there were some things said by officers, we don't have the technology back then. But you know what? I can't say that, they did it all wrong. And, officers back then can live and have no regrets of what happened in this day. because even one officer got paged. Now you think about the pagers back in the day of the 80s. And one officer had a pager and it didn't go off. So he was a half an hour late. And he was like a lieutenant at the time. So I never heard my pager, and this is technology back then. You know, they use this technology thing. I mean, which they can in ways I can't stomp them on that. But when I looked upon the scene, and when I, seen everything, which I'm probably gonna bring you through in another video, because I'm gonna show you immediately what I thought when I went and seen the pictures. Now, the officers claim that they said they couldn't see in the windows. They couldn't, maneuver right because they didn't know where the killer was. But yet, in another video I'm going to be bringing, it'll be in my next video on this to go all over this. This is just the intro to it. A friggin' news reporter saw this deranged lunatic walking around in the building. Now, where he was standing, he said, and I recorded that man and what he said. And the guy that made this documentary was asking him, well, did you see him? And he said, yeah, yes, in the type of way of, yeah, I saw him. And I couldn't see what he was doing, he said, but he could see and he could just imagine. But yet he had a clear shot to this guy and his whereabouts in there, but there was not a cop near him. And if he was not getting shot at, because this guy was shooting rounds outside the friggin' building. And I'm going to go all over that right in my next video. Because the way I seen McDonald's, and it was at a McDonald's, mind you, 77 minutes is what this friggin' maniac brought terror into people's lives. 77 minutes. Some people, he even went back up and shot people. And I took a picture of the gun because I'm going to make a point with this gun also. But what he used, a shotgun, a 9mm, and a powered rifle, but, like I always say, guns don't kill people. Idiots like this kill people. And whatever this man was going through in his life, which I don't think it was good, because I'm sorry, you take a good look at this man in his face. And sometimes I just don't like looking and staring at faces when I'm doing these kind of videos. But I have to show you, tell you, and put you in the mind of me. And I can tell you right now, this guy don't look like he had a great life. Especially, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to, make fun of ugly people. But this guy is straight up butt ugly. And he looks like some sick maniac that would, be a type of pervert, or he would just do something, sick and deranged like he did. And I'm gonna put money on the line that he had enough in life, had enough of whatever lifestyle he was brought up in and chose. And that's why I want to find out his background, because that does explain a lot and prove a lot of what led him. And I mean, you could say this guy probably got bullied as a child up to even adulthood. Because that one strand of hair there I keep looking at. It's like, Jesus Christ. You want to cut that off, guy, or do something with it? But there I am picking on the guy, right? And hey, he could have rightfully, did the wrong things because of bullying, because of, his life sucked. But to take it out on, oh my God, people at a McDonald's, children. And like I said, if you can't watch the imagery of this documentary, I wouldn't watch it, because there are babies in there, and you could just imagine laying on the floor. I mean, that's all I'm going to say, man. I only watched it because stuff like this has to have a reimagination. And my imagination runs wild. And right, for not being stepped up in putting something, in the way, in the line of fire to stop this man. But you're going to see that the officers of this time, and if I would have rolled up on the scene, and it just dawned on me, it came to mind of why didn't they do this or why didn't they do that? And I'm not even in law school. I never, went through a damn, educational program at all for any type of law. But when I see cases and I see their flaws and mistakes, and if they don't have an imagination, if an officer don't have an imagination, they're not going to catch this guy. They're not going to get in there and do this. And when I looked up on the scene and I took my screenshots, because what I'm going to put in, oh man, to tell you what I would have done, and I wouldn't have just been standing around. Because not only could they not have seen in the building, but I can assure you this guy didn't have all the sights to see out of the building. And that's where the police did wrong. I'm sorry. They might have just stood there and, they did their protocol tactics, that they did do back in that time. But if someone had more of an imagination to say, hey, why don't we do this or this? I think a lot of more people would have been saved, and this guy would have been caught a lot sooner. I mean, there was an officer, the first officer on scene. I mean, I can't bash on him either because he only had like a .38 revolver. And he was pissed off. He said, and that was probably one of the last things I watched before I shut it off. I had to go to get ready for bed, take a shower and stuff last night. But he was talking about, I was pissed this guy's got this damn powered rifle and I got this little puny ass gun type thing, right? That's what he's saying. And I was pissed. So it's like, wow. I mean, that's another thing. They weren't equipped with big guns back then. And how people get a hold of guns, yeah. Just like this last shooter. The kid that dressed up as a girl to disguise himself to get out of the harm he did. His father went and signed for a gun, knowing this kid had suicidal thoughts. Man, I hope that guy gets charged and thrown away for conspiracy of murder or, assistance of murder or however you say that. It's, I hope they throw the book at that guy. Went and signed for a gun for the kid. Now, right there's a perfect example. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. And when you got stupid, retarded fathers that know right for wrong, but do wrong anyways, and, I signed for my kid's gun. What the F is wrong with you? I hope someone busts some shit upside that guy's head. Because that's just disturbing, man. I would never, if my kid came up to me and said, I want to co-sign gun funds, I said, nope. I tell that kid to get a life and grow up. You don't need no guns. I mean, even though you do in these times, because you don't know when a deranged lunatic's going to come out and shoot your butt. Unfortunately, it's not good to have guns in these days because you'll get your head blown off for no damn apparent reason. Because, you're a maniac with a gun. And if you abuse that and you do that, yeah, I myself making myself look bad, And that guy made himself look bad with his kid. And the kid was a cross-dresser. I mean, that kid had a lot of issues in his life. So what was issued in this guy's life? That's the thing. And when they're secluded from society and do not have any type of social skills because they're picked on, bullied, oh man, that's just, it's insane. But I don't give no sympathy to this man. And if I was there that day, I would have did my damnedest to friggin' snap this guy's neck. Because, I mean, there's some stuff in here that even an officer, chief of police or whatever, or a governor or something, said that this guy went in, shot the first 10 people within 10 minutes or something. And there's a survivor that said he didn't start shooting people in the first 10 minutes. And they asked him, well, why would these other people say this? And I can't speak for him, he says. So, I mean, listen to oh my God, the insanity. Even the stuff the cops said and do, right? It's just, you're going to get angry. You're going to feel sad. You're going to get all emotional because, this is 1984. And to think that we're still trying to, in that last shooting at the school with all the kids, you would think we'd have something more planned, well planned out. Because, right, better technology, future. We're in the friggin' future. Smartphones, smart TVs, smart this, smart watch, smart that. When are we going to make smart people? Come on. When are we going to start thinking and theorize or come up with imaginations and ideas? And like I say, if there was something that a uniform that could be made more high-powered, bulletproof friggin' uniform so officers could go in there. But you know what? I saved the best for last, and it's called distraction. And when I go over this with you in the next video and show you the building of McDonald's at that time, there was so many ways that they could distract this guy to get him near a window or let alone away from, victims. And at that, when that news reporter said he saw him, I seen him, an old lady and a child went in there. The old lady dropped because she got shot. I think the child dropped. And he's like, I didn't see that much, but I knew what was going on. But yet he saw the killer. And one of the excuses of the cop was, if I shot through the glass and it didn't, and I think the glass was like high tainted back then, so with your 38 special gun wouldn't have probably penetrated through the glass. Eventually a sniper rolled on in, caught him by a door, mind you, but after all these casualties, it was way too long, 77 minutes. Now, if the distraction was used to get him by that same door, because he had all the windows shot up. Yeah, they couldn't see through spidered, cracked glass. They couldn't do this. They couldn't see that. The windows were tinted, but if they would have moved in with distractions, they would have had this guy a lot sooner than sit there and wait. And they were saying in there, a couple other witnesses, there was a lot of survivors, but employees too, saying he would go up to the people he already shot and shoot them again. So this guy had a lot of built-up anger in him, and it's just sick. Just effing sick. And, but I know for a fact that if they would have had a better imagination, or hell, even an imagination like mine, I think they would have distracted that guy, let alone get his attention and got him near a window and boom, right there. Just don't stop shooting. And I did make sure I screenshot his dead body. Hopefully it don't get taken down from YouTube. But there's a lot of disturbing images on this, but I didn't want people to see him dead. Because, anybody that wakes up, and mind you, will probably live like a 2-minute walk from this place. He lived right down the street from this place, 2-minute walk at least. So in this picture here was made by one of the victims. They survived, and even a baby infant here survived. And it kind of made me mad because this woman said that, I don't hate this guy. But if he would have killed my daughter and if she would have died, I would have hated him. So she keeps a picture of him and does not hate him. But you know what? That to me is kind of disturbing and kind of, selfish. Because what about the other people in there that did die? I hate this man's guts. I'd hate him, and I hate his guts. Anybody that goes around like this and does innocent people in like he did, and literally shoot him again. That's like, come on, guy. And one of the employees, he is now a police officer, got shot 5 times and survived. So it's like, oh man. And this woman says, oh, I don't hate him, but if anyone I lost my daughter, well, you should hate him for the fact that your daughter was involved with an act of violence and deranged killer that, right, killed a lot of people that day and injured others. I think it was 15 people, but I'll do that in another video. But yeah, this is one insane story, and even to this day, it just disturbs me because we still ain't got a control on a situation like this, on how to approach it, and approach it to take this mother effer out the right way. Distractions. How about distractions? Has anybody thought of that yet? Distractions. Decoys. Fake people at that. Throw a fake person in there as he's going out and stick a dummy up in the window, and he's thinking it's a customer or thinking it's a law enforcement, and he's going, you son of a bitch, as he runs to the window shooting, and you come up with a gun around the window and bang, 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 and you shoot all your bullets out until he's dead, till you make a hit. Distractions. How come them ain't been ever looked at upon in some? Or you can put a friggin' dummy on wheels, push it down the hallway, or make a voice in a dummy, a recording. Have these dummies ready and prepared. This is the police. Come out with your hands up. Have a remote control under the dummy's feet. And when that son of a bitch and killer hears someone coming down on their territory at that time, he will come out and start shooting. And then you can come up behind him and do advantages each way and blow his frickin' brains out. Why ain't there any kind of type of distractions? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. These are ideas that, I literally came up with watching this film and thinking of in the past. There's got to be more than just standing around waiting for that right time, the authority to say, green light, get in there and take them out. No, you got to come up with some better skilled plans. And I just said a bunch of them. Yeah, that's right. How about fake imitation? Oh man, it's sick. It is sick. I tell you, man, it's sick. And here we are in 2022, and we still have not figured a way out for when we're in a situation. I can't say we, when they're in a situation, they can't come to conclusion on how to stop this madman. Sad, folks. Very sad, and I'm very disgusted. 1984, and you think we'd have something, oh man, better equipped to take people out like this. But we don't. What's going on? Other than that, I'm going to get out of here. I got other videos up on this that's going to come out with my thoughts and theories and ideas, folks. Till the next video, be safe, take care, and always beware. Always beware. Never know when it's going to hit. Out.